The Night Team's Nicole Linsalata traveled there for the story.
If there's one thing that makes Carlos Charles smile, it's playing with his 3-month-old daughter, Caroline.
Empty, that's almost 5 days. I don't have no money to buy nothing, put in that bottle, you know.
In their home, there's a baby bottle on the shelf. Her little socks hung up to dry. But this is home, a tent city, nearly 3,000 people crammed into Port-au-Prince's main park, across from the still broken, still empty presidential palace. Nearly 2 years after the earthquake, lives are still broken, still empty.
United States sent a lot of money in this country. Billion dollars came in this country.
He's right, but he adds that money has clearly not made it here, not to this tent city in the heart of the capital.
The Haitian government keep that money and we die in misery.
The United Nations says 1 million people are still living in flimsy, often makeshift tents. They eat and bathe here. They raise their children here. There are no bathrooms. Women pick through garbage to find plastic bottles to sell. Men collect rebar, the going price, 5 cents a pound.
There is no doubt that life is very difficult in these camps for everyone, but it is especially hard for women and girls.
Meet Jennifer Jean-Marie.
I was going to buy something. It was late. They kidnapped me. They covered my mouth. I thought they were going to kill me.
She tells us 4 men took her to an abandoned building and raped her. If this 14-year-old seems calm, perhaps it's because rape wasn't even a crime in Haiti until 5 years ago. Experts estimate half the women and girls in these crowded tent cities have been sexually assaulted. But how accurate that is, no one knows. Then there are girls like Geralda Cherie, whose mother died in the earthquake.
Tell me, what do you do for money?
I don't do anything for a living. I have a child. I have sex for money.
Each time, she says, she gets about $5 American.
If my mother was here, she would not accept that, but she would help me.
The government of new President Michel Martelly has started to dismantle some of the tents in parts of Port-au-Prince.
While we were at the tent city at Place Saint-Pierre, we met a 19-year-old girl named Jabath. Both of her parents died in the earthquake. She was only spared because she was in school. Now, the government has given her a subsidized apartment. It's high above me, but this is the route she has to take to get there.
She sleeps on a concrete floor. Donated clothes are stuffed onto a single top shelf.
This is the kitchen here.
And this is the bathroom, but at least she can lock the door. Back in the heart of the city, little Pierre Richard has built himself a toy car out of a water bottle. He says he starts school in January.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a doctor.
And Geralda Cherie finds a reason to dance.
The Night Team's Nicole Linsalata with this exclusive.
The sounds of the city of Léogâne, Haiti, 18 miles from the capital city of Port-au-Prince. But last week, new sounds. On 34 acres, hundreds of men and women using their own time, their own hands, to give hundreds of Haitian families left homeless by last year's earthquake a new start.
Okay, so stand on the backboard.
Cheryl Yeager is a retired banker from Fort Lauderdale.
Do you try the door, see how it fits?
Andres Bahate is a dog trainer in Doral, and both recall the drive from the Port-au-Prince airport to Léogâne.
I've seen poverty, not like this. Just how widespread it was. It goes on for hours. For 2 hours we drove.
And there was a stream of water, sewer water, and there were kids bathing on it. That killed me.
They are 2 of the dozens of South Floridians helping to create a new beginning.
For now, it's called the Habitat for Humanity Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work Project. Eventually, the community of Santo.
Well, we're trying to build hope, as a matter of fact, for people. You know, there were just a few here in Logan, which was the epicenter of the earthquake, by the way, and suffered very severe damages. You might say 2,500 people will be able to move into these nice little homes.
Little, yes, slightly less than 300 square feet. The volunteers' challenge to finish 100 of them in 5 days.
The fascia board as well.
Rob Collette of Coconut Creek is responsible for Raymond Fevrier's new house.
This is a stem wall. In other words, there are big stems that go down into the ground, pretty deep. This is all concrete, and everything is poured, and there's rebar steel in it. If you look up, you can see we have 4 basic rafters or trusses, again made out of all pressure-treated wood. The wall partitions are actually bolted to the concrete.
Even the corrugated roofs are designed to withstand heavy winds.
Now, these houses have no kitchens, they have no bathrooms. That's because there's no infrastructure. There are no electrical lines, no sewer lines. Don't forget, we're talking about a country in which the poorest families live on an average of 44 cents a day.
Still, Ramon Fevrier is filled with nothing but hope.
There are no words to describe how I feel. I am very happy. I ask God to continue to give us strength.
The chosen families were initially screened by community leaders working with Habitat for Humanity. A school and a soccer field are long-term goals, but first there are more pressing needs, like restrooms that use a composting system and water distribution areas so residents won't have to walk for miles to find clean water. None of which will happen without volunteers.
If you're actually coming out here and sweating and, hurting yourself continuously, slamming your finger with a hammer, whatever the situation may be, the satisfaction at the end of the day is like you actually can see your accomplishments.
Accomplishment in the form of rows of neat, tiny houses.
You have to come. You have to spend a week here. This is going to change your life.
But as the night team's Nicole Linsalata reports, it's just a drop in the bucket.
On a hot Friday morning, these residents of Léogâne, Haiti, soon to be homeowners, sing the words, "Hand in hand we will work together." And in this country, there is so much work to be done. Hundreds of thousands of people still in tents or makeshift shelters almost 2 years after the earthquake.
This is the worst place we have ever seen, the most in need, and I would say the most eager people to improve their own lives.
And on this particular day, in this small city 18 miles from Port-au-Prince, with the help of the group Habitat for Humanity and former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind, 100 families, determined by community leaders to be the most in need, will get that chance. Habitat for Humanity volunteers given this challenge finish 100 new homes in 5 days.
That one fit good?
Volunteers from Broward County are responsible for nearly an entire block of homes, and it's easy to spot which ones.
I see people that are less fortunate than I am. They don't have the funds, they don't have the skills. And if I can take my 2 hands and make their life better, why would I not want to do it?
When people lose their homes, they lose their anchor. And so it changes people's lives if they don't have a safe place to raise their kids.
That is especially important to Wilson Gella. His 5-year-old son had been watching television when the earthquake hit, crushing him under tons of rubble. Gella and his wife have started over with a new baby and soon a new home.
I'm very proud I'm going to live in a place with a bathroom and water and a place for the children to play.
It is late Friday morning, and all of these homes have to be completed by late this afternoon. You can see some Broward volunteers here are finishing up this front porch. So why does everything have to be done at this particular time? Volunteers say it is just a matter of trust.
The people need to know, and they really need to see, is that we do what we say we're going to do. Don't tell me you're going to build 100 houses here and just don't do it.
Janet Huckabee, wife of former Arkansas governor and presidential candidate Mike Huckabee, isn't the only high-profile volunteer at this site.
The one thing that we can all relate to is a roof over our head. It's what we all need. The greatest things in our history of mankind last beyond our lives.
Late Friday afternoon, the volunteers' work is done.
These are the homeowners.
Among them, Wilson Gella, Ramon Fevrier. Former President Carter and his wife arrived to greet each of them and give them a Bible.
Dear God, we pray that you would bless this home in a special way. Make these homes a place of shelter and safety and laughter. Keep these families forever in your care, Lord. And all the people say, Amen.
One-on-one with former President Jimmy Carter.
Habitat, wherever we've been in almost every country on earth, we try to set an example. When there is a lack of hope, look what can be done, at least on a small scale.
Hope often in short supply in Haiti, but it's what former President Jimmy Carter, along with his wife Rosalind, is determined to bring to this nation, pounded by poverty, hurricanes, and of course, the devastating earthquake of 2010.
Nobody on earth should have to live like the people are living in this country.
Campaigning around. The 39th President of the United States served just one term, but in the last 30 years, he and his wife have continued to focus on human rights, fair elections, and with Habitat for Humanity, creating communities, like this planned 500-home project in Léogâne, Haiti. Progress elsewhere in this nation, painfully slow.
I mean, I don't see any real move within Port-au-Prince, and we've driven all around it pretty much, to build low-income houses. The international community that promised a lot of funding has not come through with their promises. And it's a message that all of these volunteers will be taken home.
Providing hope to those in need is a family tradition. The former president's mother served as a Peace Corps volunteer in India, and we reminded him of a book she wrote decades ago about her experiences.
This is a picture of my mother with a little girl. Great. The gardener gave Mother vegetables from the rich family. Mother didn't have any way to repay him, so she taught his little daughter how to read.
Years later, during a Habitat build in India, he crossed paths with that now grown woman.
She said, "I'm the president of the university."
She's the president of the university. What would your mother have said?
She would have said, "I'm not surprised."
Yeah. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Hard to believe, but the former president is 87 years old. His wife is 84. He says they will be in Léogâne, Haiti next year to check on the progress of that new community. In the Plex, Nicole Linsalata, 7 News 19.